Yes, it's me. I'm back again already. The cold has developed. If you can hear it in my voice, then sorry, Queen. If you can't, then great, let's move on. I realised that I love talking about things that piss me off and explaining why they're wrong. I loved making my Disney videos about the Disney princesses and then about the new Snow White film. I guess I just love to be negative and explain why everyone's wrong and I'm right. Maybe that makes me an a-hole, but you know what? I am fully acknowledging that fact now and embracing the fact that I am an a-hole. I just love making arguments and I love to think out points to back up my arguments. If I was on a debate team right now, I feel like I would smash it every time and I would be their greatest asset. I never had a debate team in school. We had some debates in class and like class discussions, but I was always way too shy or nervous to like add anything to those discussions. My report, like especially in primary school and a bit in secondary school as well, I guess, was always delight to teach, joy to teach, but could speak up more in class discussions. Every time it was like they just copy and pasted it, same report. And I would always be like, yeah, for sure, like I'll make an effort to speak up, fully well knowing that no, I'm not going to speak and you can't make me. But I thrived in English, in GCSE English. I am really good at BSing and thinking of why something is the way that I said it is. And my English teacher in year 10 and 11, while we were doing our GCSEs, taught us the formula to pass our exams and get the marks. And I feel like I thrived because I understood it completely. I knew exactly how to just pull answers from thin air, but then back them up with quote evidence, or at least just bend the evidence to my will. That being said, I'm now going to talk about things that piss me off. Wow, I'm going to talk about one thing that pisses me off, and then I'm going to talk about things that you should watch. I'm going to segue into things that you should watch, okay? I might get some of the facts untrue. I'm not the best at remembering things, and I did watch this film months ago, so bear with. I'm going to talk about Planet of the Apes, the 1968 film, not the modern ones. I actually really love the modern films. But yeah, I decided I was bored one day and I was like, you know what, I've never watched the 1968 classic Planet of the Apes. We should do that. I'm gonna try and watch things that I wouldn't normally watch. Let's watch that. Oh my god, from the very beginning pissed me off. First of all, how did a woman not survive space travel? Sorry, if you're unfamiliar with this film, basically a group of astronauts or people or whoever go on this exploration, I guess, to try and go to another planet and discover life or whatever. So there's 3 men and 1 woman who are on this spacecraft thing, and when they arrive on this mysterious planet, the woman she's gone. She's not looking well. She's gone. Sorry, what? Women can birth children. They can create children, birth children, have a period every month, but oh, we're too weak for space travel? I'm sorry, it's just unrealistic to me. And I don't know, maybe it was an excuse to get the woman out of the way, maybe to stop her being subjected to the horrors of what these men were going to experience, I don't know. But it just seems a bit weird to me. It just seems a bit odd, just seems like they were just trying to get that woman out of STEM, and we need more women in STEM, okay? Also, sorry, if you haven't seen this film, then maybe watch it because it's got one of the biggest plot twists of all time. But also, I feel like the plot twist is also kind of like you see it coming. Because I'm sorry, how did they just assume that these animals spoke English? And they just assumed like, oh yeah, we're on another planet. You know what, space is weird, the universe is weird. They didn't even bat an eye, they were like, yeah sure, like we're not on Earth. That's a spoiler by the way, sorry, I warned you. How did they not, I don't know, maybe they did question it and I'm forgetting it, but they just accepted so easily, like, yeah, space, like of course there are space apes that speak English. How did they not realise or just question a little bit as to why these space creatures, who are apes and literal humans, speak English and not some other space way of communicate? I don't know. I'm not getting my point across. Also, another reason why this film kind of pisses me off, and when I say kinda, I mean like extremely, is the black guy. I can't remember any of these characters' names, by the way, so sorry. But I feel like in these old movies, you always have that token black guy who is there, kind of always. He's like with the main gang, but he's just in the background, just chilling. And in this film, there's this black guy who's just like in the background. And while these two white men just talk shit and argue, seriously, they never shut up and they always argue. It's so annoying. If I was that other guy, I would have just walked off and taken my chances in that desert planet by myself. But yeah, and he was just there, like chilling, sipping water from his emotional support space water bottle, and listening to these two white men just argue every 5 bloody seconds. But yeah, there's always this black guy in the background in these old movies, just chill. He's intelligent, he has all the answers, he knows what he's doing, he seems calm and collected, a little sensitive but strong and brave at the same time. If anyone is coming out on top, it would be them, right? Oh no, sorry, wrong. Because everyone is racist. Also, yeah, I watched a lot of old movies when I was younger, like especially just weird, random ones on the horror channel. And I came to notice this sort of trend of a black person, typically a black man, who was just chill and intelligent and kind, but also like a bit stern because he knew what he was doing and he wanted everyone to stay alive, but no one would really listen to him. And as a child and like an early teen, I never really understood that because I was like, oh, they should survive, right? Like, but they never did. And growing up, then I realized, I was like, oh, racism, huh, okay. So, but yeah, a lot to unpack there. But as a kid, and now obviously still, it would and does piss me off. As well, because I would always get attached to that character because I would always feel so safe when they were on the screen, and they would always be my favourite. You would want that type of person in a crisis, right? Like, as opposed to these white people screaming at each other and freaking out. And white people curiosity, which is such a funny saying, by the way, and I don't know if it's like an actual saying, but a reactor I watch, David, he always reacts to horror movies and he always is talking about white people curiosity, and it makes me laugh so much. I can confidently say that I do not have white people curiosity, even though I am a white woman. Because, like, here's the thing, growing up, and still now, I am a Whovian. I watch and love Doctor Who, okay? I wanted to be a companion so much when I was a kid, like the Doctor's companion, despite the fact that every episode or every other episode terrified me. No joke, I would sob sometimes, like I couldn't get to sleep. Oh my god, that first episode where we see the silence, no, I sobbed that night. And I literally had to get my little sister to get my mum upstairs because I couldn't fall asleep because I was too scared of the silence. Anyways, yeah, I don't have that in me. Maybe it's because I'm an introvert. I have minding my own business down to an art, and I wish more people did too. But yeah, I don't care enough to want to, like, you know what I mean? Like, I will turn a blind eye and I will run away. Like, not to like something important, right? Like, if someone's in trouble, I will help you. Like, if someone's being bullied, whatever, like, I'll help them, not bystander. But if you are getting attacked by like a weeping angel, sorry Babs, you are on your own. That being said, Planet of the Apes didn't enjoy at all. It was so slow, it dragged for me a lot. Yeah, it's just not my thing. Which is weird because I watched all like the newer ones and I was like addicted. Like, I was watching one film one day, then the next day I watched the other. I was not expecting to enjoy the newer ones, but they are really, really good. But yeah, the original, not my thing, dragged. I just couldn't get into it. I am also still currently trying to get myself to watch new things and things that I've never seen before and stuff that maybe I wouldn't typically watch. So I watched Misery the other night, based on the Stephen King novel. I have not read the book, but I knew what I was, I knew what it was about going into it. I'm not a horror girly for the most part, which is crazy because I love autumn, I love Halloween, I love spooky season, and I do like horror, but it has to be a certain kind of vibey horror. Like, I can't really do gore or slashers, I can't do paranormal, but like Twin Peaks is a vibe, and In the Mouth of Madness is my comfort film. So it has to be like weird horror though, you know what I mean? Or like X-Files. I love X-Files so much, which I find so funny. Side note, on Disney Plus, it's described as a buddy cop drama. Oh, it is horror. It's terrifying. How's a buddy cop drama? That is the funniest thing I've heard. But X-Files, like, I love it, but some of the episodes go too far for me and I have to skip. I also just have to keep reminding myself that I cannot eat while watching X-Files because some of the stuff on that show is just not made for my weak stomach. People who eat and watch X-Files at the same time, respect, I can do that. Anyway, I digress. Misery. Firstly, as a writer, new fear unlocked. But secondly, as a former GCSE drama kid who adored drama and acting and thought that she was going to be an actor, oh my gosh, Paul, act like your life depends on it, because it does. Half of why this is so scary is because he could not hide his total disgust and annoyance at her. His eyes betrayed so much hatred that it made me cringe, because with her you never know when she's going to snap. There were even moments where he tried to be nice or whatever and she lost it. Also, that scene when she's feeding her pig and she calls to him through the window and he glares at her and puts his middle finger up. What are you... Survival instincts of a donut. What, babe, what are you doing? And she just waves him off. Oh my gosh, like, what the hell were you doing? He was almost as crazy as her for doing that. Also, you have no idea what I'm talking about if you've never seen this film or have no idea what it's about. It's essentially about this crazy fan that essentially kidnaps her favourite writer. But yeah, oh my god, Kathy Bates is terrifying. Also, when he sneaks out of the room when she goes away and he puts like the penguin in the wrong way, or like he closes the scrapbook after he sees it, so she knew that he had been out of his room, is sloppy amateur work, and I was embarrassed for him. I don't know if it's because I was a people pleaser and I'm just very aware. I'm just someone who's trying to get out of the habit of trying not to get in people's way. But I have kind of in a way been trained to look around my surroundings and make sure that everything is exactly as I left it. You best believe that she would not notice anything out of place because I would be meticulous in making sure that everything looks the same, and that if I pick something up or I read a book, I leave it on the same page as it was open on, or like I leave it in the same position that it was. She is not going to notice that I have been out of that room. Also, I would be acting like I won an Oscar. I would be smiling, I'd be acting sleepy, I'd be like, oh, my injuries, like, oh, you're such a good person for helping me, and oh, what? Burn my manuscript that I've been working 6 weeks on? Sure. Although, if she made me burn the manuscript that I'd worked on for 6 weeks and just finished, no, absolutely not. There's been a mistake because I'm not that person. If someone threatened to burn my manuscript in that moment of rage-fueled adrenaline, I would have jumped out of that bed, broken legs or not, I would have been moved by the Holy Spirit of not on my fucking watch, and I would have slapped that girl silly, taken my manuscript back, would have broken down the door, grown wings, and flown away. Kathy Bates is really pretty, especially there's a scene in the film where they have dinner and she curls her hair and like her hair's kind of pulled away from her face a bit. Oh my gosh, gorgeous. Her smile as well is so joyous. So yeah, the thing that pissed me off about Misery was the fact that Paul needed to act better because he was just not acting in a way that suggested that he was going to survive this environment. Moving on, I watched a Vivienne Westwood interview. It was only about half an hour long. It was from 2004, I believe. It's on iPlayer if you want to watch it. It's really good. There was one moment in the interview where she was walking around the V&A museum. They were showing her clothes for the first time, and she was looking at one outfit in particular that I believe Naomi Campbell wore. The way Vivienne speaks and spoke about her clothes. She's just so joyous and passionate about her clothing, and she was talking about this outfit and the way it was made and the material and how beautiful it was. And she turned around and she was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, like, I know they're my own clothes, I just love them so much, like, I'm sorry." And I was like, "Girl, you don't have to apologize, like, own it. You should love your clothes. They're gorgeous." Like, I was looking at all of it and I was like, I'm blown away. This is pure art, and the way she was talking about it and the passion just like exuding from her was such an amazing thing. And I don't think that you should have to apologize for being passionate about your creations and your art. You should be passionate about it. If you're not passionate about your art and you're not loving what you're creating while you're doing it in the first place, you know what I mean? So yeah, that was just like a really special moment that I really enjoyed. It's amazing that she just had that love for her creations. They also showed a clip of her at a talk show or something from the 80s, I think, when she was showing her designs, and the other guests and the host and the audience, just everyone basically just kept laughing at her designs. The rage I felt at their laughter, oh my gosh. First of all, was so disrespectful. Like, you could see that she was just so like upset, and she just like wanted people to like give her designs a chance, appreciate it, really look at it. And the laughter was just so like, "Oh, we're better than you, we don't get it, so it must be bad, and it's too out there, ha ha." Look, I'm not saying that you have to love her designs. Nothing is ever going to be everyone's cup of tea, but don't be a dick about it. Like, don't be disrespectful. It takes a lot to create, it's vulnerable to show your art, and it's a beautiful thing. You put your heart and your soul into art to create beautiful things. And to me, it was just like they just showed that they had no imagination. They weren't thinking outside the box. They are boring people. Like, I'm sorry, but that's just what I thought. Like, it made me so angry that she had to sit there and just take the laughter. It was just one of those moments where I was like, wow, like, the world really needs her art, because those were just a bunch of boring, disrespectful, insecure people that just were probably laughing because everyone else was laughing. They didn't actually take the time to stop and really look at the artistry. I've found a new YouTuber that I love as well. Her name, I don't know her name. Her YouTube channel's called MDoll. She's amazing. She does a lot of videos. The first video I found of hers was living in her van, which is really cute. And she does like thrift tools, and she does like van life vlogs. Every video is so hilarious. Her editing makes me laugh so much. Every video feels like you're on FaceTime with her. It feels like old YouTube. It feels very intimate. It feels like you're hanging out with a friend. Yeah, it's just a fun time. And yeah, I just really love her humour. And you know, when obviously people put out what they want others to see and how they maybe want to be perceived, they can kind of manipulate how people see them in to a certain extent. But she does really just seem like a really kind, genuine person who's just genuinely just funny and wants to just make her girly pop vlogs and have a good time and take us all along with her on her adventures, which is great. I've also been really loving Watcher, the YouTube channel Watcher. The stuff that Shane and Ryan do in particular, you might know them from BuzzFeed Unsolved if you don't know Watcher. But I've been particularly loving Are You Scared and their ghost hunts. This is another channel on YouTube, by the way. I think they have their own streaming platform, I believe, that you can pay for like extra stuff and earlier release dates. But if you're not in a position to pay, then you can just watch their YouTube channel. But yeah, I'm obsessed with Are You Scared? It's essentially Ryan reading scary stories to Shane, and it's just two best friends like having a laugh and referencing movies and being nerds while they read a scary story, and it's just the best time ever. It's also just like the vibes are great for girlies who like spooky stuff but also don't want to get scared too much. Their energy and their vibes just like break the tension a lot as well, and their ghost hunts are really enjoyable to watch too. Ryan is a believer, Shane is a skeptic. That's kind of like the vibes. Shane has beef with Boo Buddy. If you are not familiar with Boo Buddy, it's essentially this piece of ghost hunting equipment in the form of a teddy bear, but it has like different sensors on it. So, for instance, it might have like a voice recorder on it, or like it has like senses temperature change. So, if the room gets colder or something, Boo Buddy will say like, "Oh, you make the room cold?" or something like that. And I love Boo Buddy because it's just like this adorable teddy bear that like randomly says stuff and makes them jump every so often, which is so funny. But Shane really does not like Boo Buddy, and he has beef with Boo Buddy, and it's just the funniest thing ever. And I don't know, sometimes in the comments, like people really get really into it about the whole skeptic versus believer thing, which is fine. Like, I get it. You can have your discussions, whatever. As I say, I would be great on a debate team. But at the end of the day, I kind of think it's not that deep. These are just two friends being idiots and ghost hunting, and I don't know, it's just fun to watch and enjoyable. And yeah, I don't think it's that deep. It's nice that they're opening a conversation about it and people feel safe enough and confident enough to like start discussions or share their opinions in the comment section. But I do think that sometimes it gets a bit out of hand with people just like being a bit forceful with their opinions, I guess. And to me, I'm like, we're just here for a fun time. Like, we're watching our boys go sun. It's not that deep. That is what I've been watching. Sending you light and love, and I will yap to you soon.